Video. Welcome back to another episode of Secret Attractions, and today me and Mel are going to be watching a video from Car again, but this time it is a very, very interesting topic. It's going to be trust fund kids or people versus minimum wage workers, and as someone who is a minimum wage worker himself, no, I'm joking, trust fund kids and minimum wage workers playing truth or drink. Now,
damn,
this is a very touchy subject because a lot of people who are working minimum wage and then would love to trade places with people who are trust fund kids, because you hear all the time, maybe not in England as much, but you hear about people in America where if your parents were in, you know, a good business, or they started their own business, or had family or generational wealth, then they'll have the ability to sell stuff for their kids in the future, and that is pretty cool. But then it does kind of create a bit of animosity for people who are in those families, because you always hear about trust fund babies and trust fund kids who are literally just inept, don't want to work because they've had a very comfortable life. So it'd be good to hear the difference in opinions between people who have to work for a living and are working in whatever ways they can versus people who literally, to survive. Yeah. Which is really, really painful to hear, but that is some of the challenges that people go through life.
Where does your family's wealth come from?
Generational wealth, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
What does that even mean?
you know,
But yeah.
you know.
Hi.
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 I'm Manuela.
I'm Lee J.
Hi, I'm Kashara.
Hi, I'm Kai.
What's the topic of the day?
Trust fund versus minimum wage.
We're talking about what people don't want to talk about, money.
Yeah, people hate talking about money.
Have a trust fund.
Definitely don't have a trust fund, so I'm representing the lower wage people.
I was born the last child of a wealthy, large family.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, kind of, yeah.
Are you two nervous?
A little.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a touchy subject.
Cheers.
I wouldn't say it's that touchy when you're talking to a complete stranger. It would be uncomfortable, but you're just talking about your differences.
Yeah, that's true.
Potentially. I feel like the rich people would feel more uncomfortable hearing about somebody's lack of wealth, because they can't imagine themselves not
Without
having
it.
that
Yeah, that's true.
backup, that support system, that money
The
in
safety
their bank.
net, yeah.
Whereas the other people can only dream to have what they have, see in front, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. They probably almost see it as like the material level of like what I could have if I had exactly what someone else has, which is it's like
It's like
you don't want to compare yourself to others, dude. That's the issue when you have these kind of situations.
yeah, it's like when you're, for example, when you're walking down the street and there's somebody homeless,
Mm-hmm.
you can't help but think, oh, I feel sorry for you,
Yeah,
but you can't imagine how it actually is. You know,
True.
like you can see that they're on the street, that there's their bags and they're sleeping there. But
yeah, it'd be empathetic.
you
of
feel
course.
like you want to help, but you don't know how. I feel like that's the situation where the trust fund babies would be in the mindset.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to help, but you want to keep your stuff to yourself. You know, it's not the greed, but it's just what they've grown up with.
Okay. How much is in your bank account?
Probably $80.
Wow,
Wow.
she's really uncomfortable.
I'd be freaking out. Sorry.
It's okay.
How much is in your bank account?
I want to say about $1,000.
$3,000.
That's not bad. I know a lot of people who are
It's
in
not
the
great.
negative, so 3,000 is not like.
Oh, I'm in the negative. Yeah, and
all
credit
of
cards and
that.
stuff. Yeah.
Damn, it is tough.
Do you find that affects your like daily life?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But I'm
$80
so
bucks.
used to it at this point. I have what I need.
She can't
Okay,
say anything to that.
How much
Yeah.
money are you worth?
Oh, have you seen? I think it was cut as well, but it was an older one, where one of them was like, "Hi, I'm Maria," and the
Yeah.
other one's like, "My mum's name was Maria. She was a slave."
What?
It was the most. Look, if you find that clip, I want you to put it, because
Oh,
that's
I'll
what
have a look.
that just remind me of, because there's nothing you can say to that. So oh,
Yeah.
that's it.
Honestly, I'm not completely sure. I'm gonna guess 750K to $1 million.
Okay.
Damn.
Just shy of $1 million.
And knowing that you were coming into that money, do you think it affected your behavior?
It's part of the reason I ended up moving to Seattle. I knew that there wasn't as much of a risk moving here, because I knew I would always have that like that cushion to fall back on.
How much money are you worth?
Wow.
This is starting off very wrong.
She
it
is
that large of a
uncomfortable about
number?
this.
It's tied up in
Stuff.
assets, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Based on the way she's acting, what would you guess is her net worth?
I think she just doesn't want to tell the internet because she's like, they're going to come after me.
Could be, yeah. My guess is in the 5 to 10 million range.
Because I'm thinking from a female perspective, she might just be worried that somebody's going to come after her.
Oh my god, yeah. Like family or friends.
No, not even that. Like some stranger's going to see her in this video, going to walk up to her and be like, I want to be your ting.
Fair.
And then, dead.
That's true. That is a very London way
That-
of saying it, but...
Shanked up and that.
Shut up.
Pills and yeah. That's where my mind goes if I speak about certain things. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll talk about anything.
That's true.
What are your stereotypes of people working for minimum wage? Be honest.
Mostly, I just think that like people's worlds revolve around work.
I would say for me, I don't make a lot of money, but I definitely still prioritize my free time. Like, I'm happy every day. You know what I mean?
Alright,
But it would be nicer to have a lot more money.
Mostly that it's high school kids started working minimum wage jobs.
That it's not just high school kids?
Yeah, that it's actually people just making ends meet.
So you said you grew up wealthy, but you work minimum wage.
Yeah.
Has something happened?
A lot of things happened immigrating to the United States through mainline channel.
My family has immigrated here illegally,
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like a different side that I'd never thought of before.
If you don't mind me asking, from where?
Mexico.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
I'm from Venezuela.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know. I look like a white lady.
I
so.
do too. Don't worry.
Do you hate the rich?
The issue comes into
Guilt
play
rich.
when it's nepotism and when I feel like it's given to them and it's bought. So
Nepo
don't hate the rich, but just
babies.
nibble them a little bit.
I grew up with like a single mom and like a bunch of siblings, and we'd have no money, so we'd be sleeping in our car or we'd be in houses with like no water, no electricity.
Be embarrassed about it. It's just like that is like the reality, unfortunately,
Yeah.
for a lot of people. And I don't know.
She is so out of
You've made it
touch.
through, and you're doing better now.
Yeah, I just think she doesn't have that experience. Of course, not many
Obviously,
people do,
most
but
a lot of, okay, I'm not going to say most because a lot of people don't.
yeah.
So where does your family's wealth come from?
So my parents both grew up in Brazil, not well off at all. And he is like so smart. It's crazy. And he just worked really hard, went to school, paid for himself, got a job. He's an engineer. So that's what brought us over here to the US. He works for Microsoft now. So that's why he's here.
Where does your family's wealth come from?
On my father's side, it
Property?
was generational. His whole family was very wealthy and they were involved in government. Generational wealth, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Damn.
know.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's such an
What
awkward
stereotypes
Yeah.
do you have of people with trust funds?
My stereotype would probably be like snobby or kind of like off, you know, just kind of like rude. Like you have manners, your parents raise you right. Parents should do, they should set
Yeah.
up their kids
She's
to
cute.
have a stable life.
The way the media like predict or depicts people with trust funds is like they don't have a desire to really like work or do anything. I guess like career goals or just,
I was working. I actually quit my job on Friday.
oh, what was your job?
I worked in advertising.
That is such a big thing for people, especially like if you're working paycheck to paycheck or you're trying to start a career, like there's so much harder work that goes into it. And then when you have people like this who can literally just quit on the whim on a Friday, go, I'm done with this job because I got this coming in. Like I understand that, but for me, I'd be like, what the hell? You have that freedom.
I don't know, I can't buy a job.
Yeah, I know, but it's a scary type of approach to life because the thing is, they have that money, but what if they burn through it? What if they don't invest it because they haven't got the education or
It's
the
just
smarts to
Yeah.
deploy it to it, you know?
I mean, that's her choice with her
Yeah,
money.
it's true.
If she ends up spending it all,
It is
That's
what
on
it is.
her.
Yeah.
if she uses it wisely and gets another job where she's, continuing to make money or creating ways to create passive income, that's on her as well. So it's purely on the person to decide what they want to do with their wealth.
Yeah, it's true.
Whether or not you make it yourself or it just falls into your lap.
When have you felt most guilty for having money?
a lot all the time. Yeah, I just feel guilty about not being more conscious about what it meant to have that
That's true.
economic status. That brings a lot of guilt into my mind.
I can't lie, that didn't really seem very genuine.
No, I didn't, because I think she was giving the answer that she wants to hear, or like the other lady wants to hear.
Because the vibe she gives me is that she doesn't really feel guilty, but she recognises what that can look like.
I don't think you should feel guilty though at the same time. Like,
No.
just because, let's say your family was rich and mine was rich, and they had wealth and they worked hard, and then you work hard, I work hard, you shouldn't feel guilty for being in that situation, because that is just the situation you're in. You don't know any different, but at least be genuine when you're trying to communicate it. That is all.
I don't think society was set up for people that come from my like lifestyle, like raised having to struggle. I didn't learn how to save until I was in my 20s. I'm learning on my own as I get older, like how to invest, how to save, how to do this 401k. I don't know what that was until like this year.
In what ways are you responsible for your financial situation?
Oh, jeez. That makes me think of just how I've contributed to some of my financial problems.
That is true though, because I think a lot of people do have the control over their financial situations, but a lot of them don't want to admit that they need to do a bit more, like either save more, invest more, or just get a new job. Like even if it's like
Or stop spending so much.
Yeah,
They might
that-
just have a shopping addiction, and
Those
that's where all
people-
their money goes.
Yeah.
I know people who on payday they're gonna place £1,000 order on clothes or something like that. You know,
How?
there's people that I can't conceptualize it. I can't see it. I do occasionally splurge, but not to that level because.
But sometimes they're due because you haven't got clothes or
I
a
know.
rotation in your outfits, because you go, I've been wearing the same things all year and I probably just need to grab a few more bits. Like that's fine, but it's like you say, that these same people might then also say, I spend hundreds a month on takeaways and my car payment is like ridiculously priced, and then you got all these other factors, and then you go, well, that is actually why you're in a situation.
Yeah.
It's usually a spending problem. That is a good point.
I think it massively depends, because I would say we're not even in the middle of the road. We're not minimum wage, but nor are we anything
Like that.
anything like trust fund babies with guaranteed wealth. I'd say we're just comfortable-ish.
Yeah.
So it's knowing what it is to grow up on minimum wage, but to be able to see in real time the transition of going from barely able to make ends meet to then be able to actually see your own future of stability. And having seen that through my childhood and growing up makes you appreciate how much money is worth and the worth
believe
of
me.
a pound versus, and then being able to actually, you know, spend a bit here and there and not feel as guilty for it because you know you're going to be fine.
I feel like I have a lot because I've had mental health problems, and it's taken me a lot to go through. Working regular jobs, like at the grocery store, like I did, fucking made me want to kill myself.
I feel that.
I've gotten to a point now where I'm like, I'm actually doing something that makes me happy. It might be paying me significantly less, but the mental clarity that I have is
She's
overrides
laughing.
any
She's
need
not
for-
though. Look. She's like trying to not smirk and laugh. Like she's probably thinking, just get millions of pounds. Bit like that's not.
No, I don't know. Her reactions really throw me because it can be like a genuine, compassionate smile type of vibe. I think it's a bit of a weird mix. I think it can either be in a nervous, awkward smile, laughter thing. Like she doesn't know how to react because that's not her situation.
Are you sure about that?
Like, I get you, girl. I got no idea how I can help.
Is overrides any need for
I
more
feel
money.
awkward when somebody's crying in
I
front of
think
me
I
as
need
well.
to take another shot.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we're here. We're right here. Cheers.
Cheers
To mental health.
to mental health.
Yeah, as you drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Biggest struggles in life.
I don't really know what I wanna do, really.
Neither.
My struggle
Same.
is often like, how do I actually make myself happy beyond just like my basic needs being met?
What are your biggest struggles in life?
My mental health is probably the biggest struggle
What's your trauma?
So growing up in wealth meant that my family was under a lot of risk of danger back home, kidnapping.
Yep.
I had to have a guard with me at all times, and then slowly I
Wow.
would realize that other people around me that I didn't know.
How washed do I look now? Like, this ain't good for my skin, look. We're in a Mexican movie today, like the lighting.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Struggled a lot to get a sense of like safety in the world.
Yeah.
Last one. How
Damn.
are we more similar than you expected?
I don't know. To me, you
Tattoos.
seem like a normal, like humbled person who has like their head on straight, a very like broad perspective. I feel like that's like all I could ever ask for from anyone.
Fun.
You have like such an amazing personality. It was like so fun. I was really nervous.
I was
coming in, like,
nervous
excited
too.
and nervous.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna spit on me and be like, oh my god, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for sitting.
Someone completely out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm surprised. We are a lot more similar.
I love that. You're awesome.
Well, yes, you're
Cheers
awesome too. It was nice to
awesome
meet
people.
you.
Yeah.
I agree with some of the views that they were saying though, because I would always expect people from wealth or people that were, let's say, not from wealth and they were going to discuss with someone that is trust fund kid, got a load of money or property or assets, then they kind of envision like the middle-aged white man, grey hair, wearing a suit, probably a gilet and like a quarter zip jumper, and they're very well spoken, went to good schools, and they have a very well done upbringing. They were taught hard work and whatever it is. And those people are the ones that are actually the people that get associated with that conversation about people that are wealthy, not their generation below them or their kids or the trust fund kids that they kind of brought here, which is kind of nice to see the difference between what I would have thought, because you'd probably get some snobby guy who's like, oh, you eat at McDonald's?
when you
Oh,
think
that's
about-
disgusting.
All the rich people that brought in are women as well.
Yeah, they all were, all three of them.
Yeah, so potentially, if we were a man, it might have been different vibes.
True.
Girls don't tend to try not to flaunt. I'm gonna hold my tongue on that one, because you can have
Girls
some.
do it in different ways.
I was gonna say girls as generalisation, but I think then I remembered there's the girls with the long ass nails and the Chanel. So I'm gonna just hold it on there because that was going to be a very wrong statement. So
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. It's one of those. Oh, my back scratches.
But as you can tell by Mel's ADHD brain, the thought that she was about to say just went kapush. It went kapush. And just like us, we will be going kapush into the weekend as we record this video. So make sure you do leave a like, comment, subscribe. As always, we've been Seeing Distractions. I'm Luke.
And I'm Mel.
So make sure as we come to the outro of this video, there'll be 2 videos that we'll recommend just for you at the end. So as always, make sure you go and check them out.
there.
And we'll see you in the next one whilst Mel continues to be annoying.
Yeah.
The goddamn lighting today, man.
So my daughter Alyssa did A-level maths. She achieved an A star. She's 13 years
See
old.
what I mean?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Been just over the moon with how my children have responded.
I think it's stupid.